Good morning, Rise Young Elementary School students and families. It's Ms. Curry Allen here again to give some updates about our COVID-19 school closure. We are transitioning into phase 2 of distance learning on Wednesday. And so I would like to give you some updates about what that's going to look like and how we hope to best support your students. I hope that everyone is feeling safe and healthy at this time. And again, as I mentioned in the previous video, if you need anything, resources, connections to community services, please let us know. We do have quite a bit of connection within the community, and we can connect you with the right people who can support you and your family. Okay. So first of all, I would just like to start out with some gratitude. Everyone has been working so incredibly hard over the past month to ensure that distance learning doesn't mean that we're not actually learning the curriculum in the classroom. First of all, I'd like to thank our staff members. As you can see from this photo here, we are consistently in Zoom meetings almost every single day in at least one Zoom call, planning, preparing, ensuring that we are doing everything that we can to support you and your student. I'd also like to thank you, the families, for jumping into those Zoom sessions with the teachers, making sure that your student is getting the work, taking on the load of being a child care provider, a teacher, a career, doing your own personal career, and taking care of multiple children in the home all immediately. I know that that is probably very challenging, and so I just want to thank you for that, and thank you for your positivity with throughout that. Okay. So today I'm going to talk through 3 big things. Number 1, I'll give some updates about the school closure. Number 2, we'll look at online learning expectations for phase 2. There are a little bit of shifts that are going to happen with our new phase of distance learning, and some communication guidelines. All right, so number 1, we will continue to serve meals on Mondays and Wednesdays from 600 South Lafayette Park Place, which is the RKES school. And we'll be serving those meals from 9 a.m. until noon every Monday and Wednesday. And we'll do 2 meals, or meals for 2 days on Mondays, and the meals for 3 days on Wednesdays. We reduced this to 2 days a week instead of every day, just to be safe and to practice more social distancing and have fewer people on campus at one time, or have fewer people on campus frequently. Okay. However, if this is not sufficient for you, there are also many grab-and-go locations throughout the city. A couple of days ago, we posted that information on Parent Square with a little link. You can just click on it, and then all of that information is given. Excuse me, you can hear my dog. He's here with me. So there are grab-and-go locations throughout the city. More information is on Parent Square. If you need help connecting to that, please let us know. Okay. Technology support. So our IT department has set up office hours for families and students who might need hardware support, so help with the actual physical computer. If you need help, please submit a ticket to this email address right here, studentsupport@brightstarschools.org. They'll reach back out to you and set up, they'll either support you virtually or they'll set up an appointment where you can bring the device in. Just to clarify, it does have to be a Bright Star Schools device. So it's only for those people who have borrowed a Chromebook from us. We unfortunately cannot provide support for your personal school devices or your personal devices. Okay. All right, so I have the video here or the text here in Korean. If you'd like to pause the video to read. And then additionally in Spanish. Okay. All right. Sorry, my dog is being a little loud this morning, which is okay. So we also, on Friday, Mr. JC mailed out a new student packet that will last students from April 15th until May 1st. We'll also post a digital copy on Parent Square, along with a copy in both Korean and Spanish, so that if maybe you need that language support, you can have that. In the mailing packet, we also provided 2 small decodable books, which are books about this size. Some of you got those, some of you got photocopies, but they are books that the students will need to use for their lessons. And so please make sure that they stay in the same location as the students' packet so that as they're doing their work, they can have access to those resources. In addition, we'll continue to post our social emotional learning and enrichment videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which will provide some tools to support the students through this very chaotic time. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you need connection with resources for mental health services, food security, employment, healthcare, much more, please reach out to us or visit our links that we've posted on Parent Square. We do, again, like I said, we have a lot of resources within the community, and we would love to be able to be a connection for you. And then finally, tomorrow morning, I am going to be hosting a coffee and chat at 9 a.m. via Zoom. All of the information is on Parent Square, and we'll be talking through how to support your student in this time of online learning and quarantine. We'll also do a question and answer session for anything that you need as relates to distance learning and what that means for the rest of the school year. The coffee, it is at 9 a.m. and there's the link on Parent Square. If you are unable to attend, we are going to record that video and we'll post it on Parent Square for you so that you can watch it later. Okay. Again, here's the translation in Korean. Please pause it if you would like to read. And Spanish. Okay, so I know that this question has been on a lot of people's minds. What is going to happen for the rest of the school year? And the answer is, we don't know right now. Yes, the governor and the state superintendent have hinted that this could be postponed through the end of the school year. However, that is not official yet. So we do not know at this point what the rest of the years will look like. Officially, we are still starting on May 4th. However, that could change, and it could change soon. LAUSD has been on spring break for the past week. When they return tomorrow, I anticipate that there might be some sort of announcement. So we, Bright Star Schools and Rise Koyang Elementary School, is following the guidance of LAUSD. And so we are waiting on their guidance, what they are going to do. And as soon as we have that information, we will communicate that to you. Okay. And unfortunately, we just don't know more at this point. Okay. All right. So we are transitioning to phase 2 of our distance learning. And really what we did during phase 1, so what we've done up to this point, is the students have received packets of review. So things that they have already learned with their teacher. And the review materials were just to go over and to support them, remember what they did before, and build, on that knowledge. However, with phase 2, the teachers are transitioning into teaching new material. So things that were in the curriculum that the students have not yet learned. And we're doing this for several reasons, but the primary reason is to make sure that your student is successful and is ready to be successful in the next grade level, okay? So in order to do this and to make sure that this is effective, we have changed a few different things of the previous system. So I'll go over those, and you'll also learn more about this when the teachers post their videos tomorrow morning about what the week schedule will look like. So Monday is the soft start, and then Wednesday will be the hard start of phase 2 of online learning. So the key components will be, we are planning approximately 2 hours of structured schoolwork a day for students in TK and in kindergarten. Even though the students are with us 8 or more hours a day, we know that having that much work for you as a family puts a lot of burden and pressure on you, especially if you have lots of children in the home. And so having 2 hours a day, we believe is the balance. It's enough to make sure that the students are still learning what they need to learn before they go to the next grade, but it's also not too much to be too much pressure on you as a family. We'll have a new student packet, which has already been mailed to you, and you should be receiving it within the next couple of days. Teachers will continue to do pre-recorded videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this is the biggest component that we'll talk more about on a next slide. We are going to be doing mandatory small group instructional sessions on Tuesday and Thursday. Again, I'll talk more about this in a minute. We'll have weekly optional office hours for parents. So there will be a time where the teachers will have a Zoom call open. And if you have a question, maybe you don't know how to support the student with their schoolwork, maybe you don't understand directions, maybe you're having a challenging time with your student's behavior and you want some advice from the teacher, they will be available for you. And then, I'm really excited about this, we're working on teacher websites. The teachers are working on them and it should be finished and shared by April 20th. The websites, I know that right now, all of our information is kind of in a lot of different places. You will be able to just go to the website and do everything from the website, that one location. So it'll make it a little bit easier for you as a family. Okay, and again, we'll continue to post our SEL and enrichment videos. We have the information in Korean. Please press pause if you'd like to read that. And Spanish. Okay, so our new student work packets look something like this. There is a message at the top from Ms. Cardis and Ms. Sugai, and then there is a calendar. So we hope this is a little bit easier and less confusing than the one that we had before. But as you can see, it has what the student should be doing, and then it has the work that they need to do that day. So on Monday, it's watch the teacher videos, the one that they post, and then complete the week 3 work packet. Tuesday, attend small group Zoom session, choice board page 2. Wednesday, watch teacher videos, and then complete these pages. And the teachers will give instructions for the students on how to do those things. Okay, so very streamlined, a little bit easier. And as I mentioned before, the packet and teacher videos are aligned with our core curricula moving forward. EL Education, which is our reading and phonics program, and then Bridges Math. And so we're going to be using those resources, making sure that what we're still teaching is rigorous enough for that your child to be super successful and on the path for success in elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. Okay. So this is sort of what the week will look like for phase 2 of weekly core instruction. On Monday at 8 a.m., like we've been doing, the teacher will post videos in math, phonics, and literacy. I know one of the teachers is doing 3 separate videos, and one of the teachers is putting them all together into one video. That's fine. But what they're doing is they're doing the 3 separate lessons. So math, phonics, and literacy. So the phonics is those basic skills, how to spell, how to start sounding out their words. Literacy is more about reading, answering questions about a text, and thinking critically about stories. Okay. You and your student do these on your own schedule. So whenever is convenient to you and your family, they can watch those videos. And then their homework, their independent work, they will complete the pages in the packet that's aligned to the calendar on this page. So whatever those pages are. So they'll watch the videos and they'll do the pages in the packet. The idea is that they watch the videos first because the teacher will go through how to complete those, and then they do the packets themselves, or do the packets, okay? And that will be the same for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, this will be when you and when your student participates in their small group Zoom session with their teacher. So this is when they are with their teacher live interacting and reviewing the skills that they learned the previous day. So it is a pre-scheduled time. Miss Jasmine and Miss Natalie have called, or Miss Lee, have called and made a schedule for you. So it's 4 to 5 students. We know that having more than that in one Zoom call could get overwhelming for kindergarteners. Focused on those core skills they learned the day before. And it is mandatory. So we are asking that all of you sign in at your assigned times. We don't quite yet know what the state is going to be asking us to report in terms of attendance, but we are going to be using this as that point, okay? So the Zoom call, and then the independent work for that day, the students will select something from a choice board. And I'll show you what the choice board looks like in just a minute. So they select one thing per column. There are 5 columns, 5 activities. They pick one thing per column, and then that is their independent work for the day. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the teacher videos along with the packet work. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are the Zoom calls with the choice boards. Okay. Have that in Korean. Again, press pause if you would like to read that. And Spanish. Okay, so I mentioned choice boards, and choice boards are, again, what the students will be doing for their independent work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And basically what these are different activities that your child can choose to do. So each Tuesday they would pick one thing from reading, and you would sign that thing. One thing from phonics, one thing from math, one thing from writing, and one thing from what we're calling electives, or the art, PE, music, and science. So they choose one thing from each of these columns. We also will be, like I mentioned before, by Wednesday, April 15th, we'll be uploading the packets in both Korean and in Spanish if you need that language support to support your child. So like on Tuesday, say your child, they read the decodable to someone in the family. They find at least 10 things in the house that start the letter S. They play splash math for 20 minutes. They write a thank you card to someone in your family who's been helping with school. And then maybe you go on a nature walk, practicing social distancing, of course, and they find 3 living and 3 non-living things. And that would be what they're doing for their Tuesday and Thursday independent work. Okay. All right. So talking a little bit more about the small group sessions. So those Zoom calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I just want to give a little bit of reasoning to why we are making this a mandatory session. Because previously it was optional. Okay, so it's mandatory because we are now teaching new material to the students, and this will allow us to check student understanding and make sure that your student is progressing toward mastery of the skills. We know what the student needs to be successful in first grade or kindergarten if your student's TK, what those skills are, and so we need to still track progress to make sure that they are progressing toward that mastery. It'll also allow the teacher to support your students where they are, provide real-time feedback, and help them with their work. So they'll be able to see what they're struggling with, provide feedback, and support them. It also will allow us to count attendance and participation rates in online learning. Again, we don't know what the state yet is going to be requiring us to do as a public school, but it could affect how we receive money. And so we do need to make sure that there is a live component so that we are interacting with the students. And then finally, it allows us a chance for us to interact with with each other. So it's really important that the students are still building relationship with their teachers and with their peers, and so it gives them a chance to interact with other people. Again, it was pre-scheduled with Miss Natalie or Miss Jasmine. I think Miss Lee called a couple of you all as well. And then if something comes up and you have to miss a session, so this is mandatory and we're asking that you attend all of them. However, if something does come up, please reach out to your student's teacher via Parent Square. Think of it as if your child was going to be absent, you would call the office and let them know that they were going to be absent for the day. So reach out to the student's teacher first. So Miss Sugai or Miss Cardis. Okay, can we have it in Korean? And Spanish. All right. So for phase 2 for grading, so we are going to continue doing grades for phase 2. And what that will look like is we're asking you to keep a hold of the packets. And when it's safe, we'll ask you to return them. So right now we are trying not to bring people onto campus. And so we are not going to be asking you to bring them to school yet. Keep them in a safe place, and we will ask you for them as soon as we're able to do that. Teachers will also be using checklists during the small group instruction to keep track of progress. So we use mastery grading at Rise Koyong Elementary School, which means we're looking at what the student knows and actually the skills that they're able to do. And so the teachers will have a checklist next to them during those small group Zoom sessions, and they'll be able to track progress that way. We also, later in April or in May schedule individual Zoom sessions with you and your child to test your child's understanding of the curriculum. This is something that we do all the time whenever we're at school, but we might schedule that time. And then finally, the teachers will also track progress in the online portals like Splash Math, Reading Eggs, Epic, and Moby Max, which is a new one that we're going to be sending out your login information to you very shortly. Okay. So we are, I just want to provide some suggestions of things that will make the online Zoom sessions go really successfully. So some guidelines for learning at home. Number one is to choose a schoolwork zone at home for your scholar. If you live in a small apartment like I do, I know that that's really challenging, but just a space in the house that is always where they do work, whether that is at the kitchen table, is in a space that you've created in the house, even on the couch at home, just making sure that that is the work zone. That they always know that that is where they do their work. That predictability and routine is really important, particularly for young students. Have all of the learning materials ready in advance. So making sure that the students have their packets that they need for the day, a pencil ready to go, and their decodable books. The students are prepared and they're ready to learn. So one thing we're asking is that before Zoom sessions, the students should eat before the Zoom session. They should not be eating their breakfast while they are participating. They also should go to the bathroom before their Zoom session. We don't want them to interrupt, and this is our restroom sign. It's like, I've got to go to the bathroom, because then they'll miss really important moments since it is such a short session. Just test the internet and the devices to make sure that they're working beforehand. And have a parent or guardian or older sibling help them log in. Okay. We're asking for focus during the session, so please make sure that the television is turned off, that as much as possible distractions have been removed. I know, again, that's challenging if you live in a small apartment. I get distracted a lot by my dog and my husband and my cat, but as much as possible, focus during the lesson. And then we are asking that there be an adult or an older sibling close by in the same room, able to help if a need arises. So if the internet freezes, if the student doesn't understand what's happening, then that person can physically redirect the student or help them with the computer. Okay, so in summary for phase 2, and I know I've given a lot of information, but in summary for phase 2, what we have is you'll receive a new packet at some point early next week. If for some reason you don't get a packet, please reach out to us so that we can make sure that you get that information or that work. The teachers will continue posting new videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and the videos will support the work that the students are completing within the packet. Small group sessions will begin on Tuesday, April 14th. So the teachers will post the schedule. If you've forgotten what you signed up for, you can look on Parent Square. He's like, oh, okay, I signed up for 10 o'clock on Tuesdays, 10 o'clock on Thursdays. I'll make sure we're logged in at that point. Again, please make sure you log in on time according to your schedule. An adult or older sibling should be nearby so they can help the student with technology trouble. Okay, and then teachers will have office hours once a week so that you, the guardian or parent, can ask questions and get support. So please look to the teacher grade level video that they'll post tomorrow morning for that precise time for both Ms. Sugai and Ms. Cardis. Okay, and then finally, we've gone over the updates, we've gone over distance learning. I would like to check in with some communication guidelines. So please make sure that you are checking Parent Square daily. We are sending more Parent Square updates than we have in the past just because we're not able to talk to you in person. You know, before I would be able to jump in and say hi and give you updates while you're doing drop off or pickup, but we can't do that anymore. So please check Parent Square daily. And if there is a request from a teacher or a staff member, please respond to it. So if we're asking you a question, please answer that question because we need that information to support your student. And again, please make sure that if the school calls, you pick up as well, because we are trying to make this work really well for your student. Okay. Just giving you a heads up, the leadership team, so myself, Mr. JC, and Miss Lee will be reaching out twice a month to each family by phone just to check in and make sure that you have everything you need and to provide you an opportunity to ask questions. So be anticipating that. We are beginning those this week. And then if you have a question about instruction, the packet, how to help your student with their work, login information, anything that has to do with core instruction, we're asking that you reach out to the teacher first. So Miss Sugai or Miss Cardis. They have most of the information regarding that. And so what happens is if you reach out to Miss Lee or to me, I then have to go ask Miss Cardis and Miss Sugai. So I'm just asking you to reach out to them first. If they can't help you for some reason, then they'll ask me and then I can support. And then finally, please continue to reach out if you have any needs that arise. If you need pencils, if you need scissors, if you need books, if you need anything, we would like to be able to help you. Amazon is still delivering, and so we can be support that way. Again, we have lots of community resources that we can help connect you with. And so please reach out if you have any questions or needs. And I really appreciate everyone who already has, because it allows us to be of service and to do our job as a community school. Okay. Lastly, we really want to see the pictures of your students doing their work at home or, you know, whatever they're doing at home. We would love to see it. So we would love to see pictures of the scholars doing their homework, using social emotional learning tools, or doing Zoom sessions with their class and more. So please post pictures and tag us on Instagram. Again, we're at RKES_dragons. We would love to be able to post that. And here is our little image, and that's the sign. So remember to tag, though, you have to have the @ symbol first. We would love to be able to repost, share, and just really continue to build our community, even though we are in such a disconnected world. Okay. Those are the announcements that I have. Please make sure that you log into your Zoom sessions. Look for the packet that was mailed out this past week. If for some reason you don't get it, please reach out to us. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns. And if you're able, please join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the coffee and chat. Unfortunately, because we're not together, I can't actually provide you with coffee, but you can bring your own. And I'll be talking about how to support your child through this crisis, along with providing a question and answer platform. And again, if you can't participate, we'll record it and post it to Parent Square. So thank you all so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll talk soon. Bye.